having an abundance mindset will actually make you broke. And probably you never thought about this, probably nobody told you about this, but I have seen some very sad situations with some of my clients. They're making a lot of money, and I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, way richer than me. Probably some of them will be way richer than I will ever be, but they are still about to go broke. And I want to talk about this topic because it's very serious and nobody's really touching on how to think about money being in this info space. Everyone is obsessed with making more money, increasing that revenue, getting more leads, getting more clients. But nobody thinks about keeping that money. Okay, and this video is very dear to my soul because in the past I also made a lot of money and lost a lot. A lot. I don't even want to get into it, but I want to talk about this abundance mindset and why this is some evil programming. Okay, so let's think about it for a second. Let's just unravel this topic and let's discuss it. Let's just have an honest conversation about it. The abundance mindset says or states, or like people who talk about the abundance mindset state that there is always more for you and you should not live in fear and you should not be scared of spending or using your money because there's always more for you out there, right? That's what people say, and it sounds really good in theory until you look at the reality. You know, theory is very different than reality, and most people don't know how to juggle having large sums of money, especially us being new money, not all money. My parents weren't rich, you know, they are still not rich. Probably your parents are not rich, even though you are making a lot of money. And so you don't know how to deal with a lot of money. Suddenly you're making in a month what you used to make in a year, right? And first of all, people who are always pushing this abundance mindset are people who are trying to sell you a program, a course, a mentorship, a mastermind, whatever that might be. They want to take your money, right? So they are subtly programming you for that. And it's not a problem. You should do this with your prospects, with your clients. You should push this narrative because it works, right? So I'm here to tell you what works, but I'm also telling you how to protect yourself as well. Now, some of my clients, as I said, they're making a lot of money. Think about, you know, they're buying a new Rolls, Ferrari, Lambo, a Patek. I'm not really a watch guy, so I'm not really sure like what's a good watch brand. My favorite watch is a Rolex Datejust. So that's kind of where I am with watches. They're always, you know, traveling first class. And I saw them like really desperate to get more leads. You know, over the past few months, they were like always pushing for more leads, even though on Instagram their lifestyle is amazing. You know, like you are gonna, if you watch their Instagram, you'll envy them. And this is, you know, if you want to be a client of mine, I'm not gonna bash you online. But then I asked them to let me run an audit on their business. And then so I looked at everything, you know, Stripe exports for the past 2 years, see every payment that came through. I looked at client contracts. I looked at their bank statements, personal and business. And I started running mathematical calculations on different data points from their business. And I realized that even though the revenue is going up, they're actually on a treadmill trying to run faster just to stay stuck in the same exact place. Their bank balance didn't move at all in the last 6 months. Imagine this, every single month you're making way more money, like your revenue is going up every single month, 5, 10, 20% month on month. Year on year, you're making way more money. But when you look at your bank balance, like what's left after you pay your team, the agency that you're working with, ads, taxes, your bank account stays in the exact same position. How can this happen? Lifestyle inflation. So people are trying to keep up with the Joneses, so they're buying flashier cars, flashier watches. They're greedy. They want to make more money, right? They think that revenue is what matters, right? They don't have a strategy, you know. They follow one thing, but then they are trying many other things instead of doubling down on whatever works. And this is not an uncommon situation. I realized this a few months ago when I saw this guy, Sam Millsap, going broke. And listen, when you watch this video, I want you to understand that I don't feel happy that these guys are going broke. You know, I really feel bad for them. Like, I pity them. I want them to get back on the horse and do better again, right? Because, you know, they're good guys at the end of the day. But it's very sad to see business owners going down with their business because they don't know how to handle their finances, right? And that's why I need to understand that as a business owner, when you run an info business or an agency, let's say, the difference between our business and any other type of business, be it brick and mortar or software, you cannot exit this type of business. You cannot exit a personal brand because the business, it's you. People buy you, right? Very few people manage to exit their personal brands or the business that they've built. Look at, for example, consulting.com. After Sam Ovens left, that company is worthless. You know, Iman Gadzhi bought it just to take the piss. The businesses that we are building are cash flow businesses. That means we need to take all the cash that we are producing, live very modestly, right? And then use all our excess profits and reinvest that into real estate, stocks, crypto, because you might not exist tomorrow. AI might destroy your business. And if you don't see this, or if you refuse to see this, you are stupid. AI affected my past business. It affected it from the point of view that people didn't see whatever I was teaching as an opportunity. Same as, for example, copywriting nowadays. Like, copywriting is a dead skill. People who are teaching copywriting should be really scared. If you are still making money from copywriting, you should save that cash because you will not exist in the next few months. And this is a fact, right? And then many people will disappear. Dropshippers, you know, I don't even want to get into it, but traders, like, if you're teaching trading, like, you are about to be obliterated in the next 6 to 12 months. So save all the cash that you're making from your info business because you won't be able to sell it, right? Especially if you are leading with lifestyle. Imagine this. You are building a business, teaching people how to start a business, for example, and everything you show is your lifestyle. Mate, you are in big trouble. You are spending a lot of money to make yourself look rich. You are spending pretty much everything, thinking that you're gonna make more next month. But people might not like you next month. What do? You saw it with Tate, for example. Tate is going down since 2022. Probably he has other businesses outside of his personal brand. I have no idea. I have nothing against the guy. But you can see that he's getting desperate. He's not getting the attention that he used to get. He's desperate to get people to buy the annual subscription to the Real World because he has an incredible churn rate. Nobody sticks with that program. So he's trying to push the year plan, the yearly plan. And if this happened to Tate, the top G, what makes you think that it's not going to happen to you? It can happen to you anytime. So you need to learn and you need to have the discipline, not only to build a business, but to keep your cash. This is super, super important. This is exactly what I'm starting to do right now with my clients, with every single client that I'm working with. It's not only about like making more money, but it's about creating a system where you keep as much of the money that you are generating. Because making money is going to be harder and harder in 2026, 2027. We are seeing political wars, especially in the US, where most of our money comes from. Europe is under attack. Money will be less and less. Like, people will not want to spend on coaching programs anymore. They'll want to keep their money to buy food, to buy, to go on a holiday and whatnot. They don't want to risk anymore on your opportunity. They don't want to take their chances with buying your fitness offer. They don't want to do that. So you need to be extremely Jewish with your cash. Okay? So that's the message for today. I hope I didn't scare you that much. I hope I did scare you a little bit, but this is a very serious topic, and I just want to make you aware that, like, if things are going well right now, they might go south really fast, and you have to be prepared for them. Okay? If you want to work with me, there is a link in the description of this video. I want you to click that link, and if you are making over $10,000 per month, let's work together and let's make you a lot of cash. Peace out.